Hello everyone, my name is Heather and welcome to the channel Bookables. Today I'm here to talk about another romantic trope. You guys know romance is one of my favorite genres to read, and with that there's a lot of tropes. There's a lot of tropes with any genre of book, honestly, but there's a lot within the romance one. I've done hate to love, friends to love, second chance romance. You get the gist. Today I'm doing some single dad romances. I love reading about single dad. It sounds so weird to say because I am married. I do because I am married. I love the husband. I love the father of my children so immensely much. I think what it is that I love reading about a good dad. I truly, truly do. There's nothing more that I love than watching my husband interact with our children and seeing the love and fun and stuff. And I love reading that too. And I love finding their love story, and I just love it. I will be doing a single mom one too because there's a lot of those and I love them as well. I grew up with a single mom, so love them. So today I'm gonna have a whole stack. That's right, there's a lot of them, of single dad romances. In case you're looking for one and looking for love for them, this video is perfect for you. So first up, I definitely have to talk about the Rose Hill series by Elsie Silver. There are 3 books out. I've only read the first, but this whole series is about single dads. You're probably like, duh, I already know this. This is probably the biggest single dad romance series out there, but we have to start with the obvious ones, I think, sometimes first. So like I said, all 3 of these feature a single dad. It's all about Ford and Rosie, and basically Ford is Rosie's brother's best friend. He comes back to the small town of Rose Hill to start a recording studio because he's really famous. Rosie needs a job. He learns that he has a child that he didn't really know about, and he's thrust into kind of single daddom, if you will. And it's a beautiful romance book, steamy. All of her books are small town. You get the vibes. So like I said, the other 2 I haven't read, but I know the whole series is about single dads. This one is about Weston, who is actually Rosie's from the first book's brother, and he is a single dad to 2 kids. Then he meets Skylar, who is a musician that is coming to Rose Hill to record at Ford Studio. So it's like a series. You don't have to read the middle order. You get the gist, but it's always beneficial to do so because the characters always make an appearance in other ones. But basically, it's all about their romance. She comes to a small town. She's like kind of famous. He's a dad with 2 kids that, you know, trying to look for love. You get the gist. And the third one recently just released, and this is Wild Side. And this one follows Tabitha and Reese, and I believe they do not like each other at all. And she starts to get guardianship of her nephew, and it's questioned with her like marriage and stuff. So Reese decides to marry her, and he is a single dad as well, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, if you just want single dad books, check out Rose Hill because Elsie Silver got you covered. Speaking of Elsie Silver, the last Elsie Silver book I do want to talk about is the second book in the Chestnut Spring series, Heartless, which I really, really enjoy. This book follows Cade and Willa. Cade is one of the main characters from the first book's brother. He is older. He has a little boy that needs a nanny pretty much because it's summertime. He works out on the ranch. He doesn't have anybody to really watch his son. So enter in Willa, who is the main character from the first books. I know it's always like a joining series. Best friend who is very vivacious and fun and loud. It's pretty much Grumpy meets Sunshine, Hate to Love. You can get the gist. There is a ton of books of single dad and nanny type of romance, and I love them. I eat them up. So, I mean, Elsie Silver has no shortage of single dad romances, so seriously, take your pick. Next up, we have one that I never hear talked about. I think it's an underrated read. I really enjoyed it, and that is Catch and Keep by Erin Hahn. I really enjoy Erin Hahn books. What drew me to this is the cover because it is fall, and that is me to a T. Technically, my season for like colors and stuff is spring. I still love the fall. So this is about characters Marin and Josiah. Marin is kind of at a crossroads at life. She breaks up with her boyfriend. She gets passed over for promotion for her job. So she moves back home to, I think, Wisconsin. And she's also a good fisher. And Josiah sees that she needs some help because Josiah is also her brother's best friend. That's another big trope too. I've done a whole video on that as well. And so basically he offers her like a house there in order for her to give fishing tours and things like that. He's a single dad to 2 kids and his daughter is autistic. And that I think is why I love this book so deeply much. Like I loved every second of it with her trying to just learn more about Josiah and his kids and learn more about his daughter and what kind of triggers her, what makes her have meltdowns, what makes her happy, what makes her stim. And I love that so much. You guys know my son is autistic. So any chance I can read about a parent's point of view with an autistic child, I will read, because everyone is totally different. And I love this. It was just so wholesome, so adorable. Highly recommend. Single parents with autistic kids. I do have This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. This is the second book in her series. I still have yet to read it. I don't know why. I think it's going to be an emotional gut punch, which is why I haven't read it yet. But I do know it's about Soledad, who becomes a single mom, basically, and then she meets Judah Cross, and I believe that he has 2 sons, and one of them is autistic, I believe. But either way, it's a single dad, single mom romance. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this. I will read this year. I just think I have to get the emotional fortitude up, because I know her books are just so intense. So I do want to recommend it, because I do think I'll love it. And I love the fact that there's a lot of books that have parents of autistic kids being represented, because I love and adore that. So just wanted to throw that one in there. I feel bad because I haven't read it yet, but I feel like I'll love it. So I don't feel that bad, Rick. Next up, we have Funny Feelings by Tara DeWitt. I love this cover. So this book is about a character named Farley, who is a female comedian, and that's a tough business. Speaking of that, if you love female comedians, you really need to watch the show Hacks. I recently started that like about a month ago. I'm already caught up. I'm obsessed with it. It's a great show on HBO Max. I don't think it talks about enough. Watch it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Either way, she is a female comedian, and she's really trying to make it big, and she gets this opportunity to tour. And she has her manager, Meyer, who is a single dad and once was a comedian himself. And basically they decide to fake date to kind of zhuzh up the tour, if you will, like make her more well-known. And there's always been kind of a romance brewing between them. So it's a female comedian, single dad that used to be comedian, a lot of pent-up feelings. It's adorable, and I loved every second of it. I feel like Tara DeWitt's other book, Savor It, I believe, gets more talked about the Funny Feelings, but I really loved Funny Feelings. Next up, we have another dad nanny romance. It's and that is Caught Up by Liz Tomford. This is the 3rd book. Is it the 3rd book? I think it's the 3rd book in the Windy City series. So this book follows a character named Kai, who is a pitcher for Chicago's baseball team. He's a single dad, and he's really thinking about not coming back to the season because he is a single dad. And he's like, I don't really have care for my son. Enter in Miller, who is the GM's, general manager's daughter, who's kind of floundering right now. She is a pastry chef, but has left her job. And he's like, look, help Kai out. I really need him to play this year, and I really could use somebody that I trust to watch his son. There you go. There's the plot. There's a lot of romance. There's a lot of pent-up feelings, kind of a hate-to-love romance. Another Grumpy Meets Sunshine. Adorable. You get the gist, but I still eat it up every single time. Next up, I have In a Jam by Kate Canterbury. I read this a few years ago on a whim and loved it. Yes, she's thick. Most Kindle Unlimited books are. Like, why? I don't know. They just are. So this book follows 2 characters. We follow Shay and we follow Noah. And Shay basically gets left to the altar, and she's like, crap, I have nothing left. But then she learns her great aunt dies and leaves her tulip farm. And she's like, oh, great, I can have a fresh start, things like that. But of course, with that becomes caveats, because there's always those. Like, she has to be married within a year to keep the tulip farm. Like, I don't know who writes these contracts and who signs on them. Like, really? Really? Enter in Noah, who is the neighboring farm and someone she's known since high school, who has always harbored a crush on her. He is not a single dad, but he has taken guardianship of his niece. So he kind of is like a single dad. He's the only one caring for her. So that's why I included it in here. But basically, they strike up a deal to kind of, get married so she can keep her farm. He can get some of her farmland because he does a whole bunch of cows and he does jam, and he's just amazing. It is so steamy, so adorable, great romance, great relationship between Shay and Noah's niece, and it's just overall adorable. Then I have another one I haven't read yet, but I'm planning to read soon, and that is The Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lorie Gilmore. This is the 4th book in her, Dream Harbor series. I like this series. I don't love it. It's very seasonal, okay? Like, it's a good spring read, probably. It's about a character named Archer who's a single dad and renowned chef, and he moves to a small town and runs a pancake house, and he needs a new chef, and Archer needs a community to help raise his daughter. That's where the single dad comes in. And then Iris decides to become a nanny. Of course, there's another single dad nanny romance, but this is just like a small town series, steamy time. If you just want kind of a palate cleanser, I'd recommend it. I haven't read it yet, but I feel like all of her books kind of get the same rating for me. My favorite one is, I don't know quite yet. I don't know. I've heard people say this is their favorite, so we'll have to see. But either way, single dad romance, you get the vibes. I forgot about Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. This is the third book in the Rebel Blue Ranch series, and I really enjoy it. This is about Teddy and Augustus, and again, it's kind of following the series. Augustus is the main brothers from the first books. Augustus is the main character's brother from the first book. Teddy is the main character's best friend from the first book. They don't like each other. He is a single dad. He needs somebody to watch his daughter. You can clearly see where it's going. The banter is there. In fact, I would say that Heartless and Lost and Lassoed are really, really similar. I know. But still, if you want like a single dad cowboy romance, I'd recommend them both. And lastly, I'm going to end with a hidden gem one that I do really enjoy, but it doesn't get talked about a lot, and that is Just Another Love Song by Carrie Winfrey. This is another small town one where we have a couple that was together in high school, and the guy always dreamed about, sorry, I don't have the copy anymore, so I forget their names. He always dreamed about going off and being a country star, and she was always going to go with him because they wanted to leave their small town. But then one of her parents got sick, so she had to kind of stay behind, and he went off to fulfill his dreams and became a big, huge country star. Now it's many years later, and he is back with a child from divorce, and he is just a single dad trying to settle down somewhere back in his hometown, and she sees him, and it's kind of a second chance romance. He's obviously a dad now, and so that has to be a factor, and they also have a factor of like, he kind of left her in the lurch, you know, so many years ago, so it's all about that. It's one that doesn't get talked about a lot, but I still really enjoy and would check it out. So there you have some single dad romances. There's more that I didn't even recommend in this video, but maybe I'll do a part 2 because I feel like there's going to be a plethora of them always. If you have any favorites, please let me know. I would love to know. Leave them down in the comments. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.